that I'm stranded in Oklahoma with no hotel, no car. RJ literally snatched Halo off the ground, walked out, hopped in the car, and left. Didn't tell me where they were going, didn't tell me when they were back, didn't take any of his stuff. He's not allowed to do that. He's never had him for more than 30 minutes. This just shows how little he cares about his child.
So have you seen this crazy situation that's currently going viral on TikTok right now? In case you're not in the know, this is Tiffany Jeffcoat, a pretty big TikTok influencer, and this is her son Halo with NBA player RJ Hampton. Yesterday, Tiffany got online accusing Hampton of kidnapping their child. And if you go on her page, you can watch the entire progression of the situation leading up to her child eventually being gone. Tiffany also accused him of past abusive behavior, which he admits to in the videos, prompting people to tell her that she needs to get a lawyer. Tiffany had documented her journey to Oklahoma on social media, sharing sweet moments with Halo, from him eating applesauce on the plane to the adorable snackle box she had prepared for him. She then revealed that RJ picked up their son without taking any of his belongings, leaving her stranded in a hotel in Oklahoma and uncertain of when he or if he would return Halo. So what prompted this whole thing? Why was RJ so upset? Well, Tiffany decided to have a girls' weekend in Miami, and RJ seemed to be super mad about it. So she went and had a good time. He got butthurt, even though this is the first time that she had left her child for more than 2 hours. And this man decides to pull the classic bitter, well, if you're having a good time, I'm going to make sure that you have a bad time. In her other videos, Tiffany expressed her despair, sharing that their son had been awake since 5 a.m. due to travel and that she hadn't been able to ensure he was fed or cared for since RJ took him. After contacting the police, she was told that they couldn't intervene because the matter was deemed civil, not criminal, leaving her helpless and in anguish. We don't even know if he paid for the hotel room because from her videos, they were hanging out in the lobby the entire time before he took RJ. Tiffany also said that RJ hadn't spent more than 30 minutes with Halo since he'd been born. So the fact that he would take him like this, without knowing his feeding schedule, without knowing anything really about the baby, is pretty crazy. Also, according to Tiffany, RJ has visitation hours with Halo, but they're from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And as the clock ticked past 7:30 p.m., Tiffany still had no updates. And the situation took an even darker turn when Tiffany posted footage of an argument she had with RJ. In the video, RJ can be heard downplaying his abusive behavior, saying it wasn't serious because he hadn't slapped or punched her. In the video, his anger was apparent about the fact that she took the weekend trip to Miami and left Halo with her parents, even though despite RJ's accusations, Tiffany has been the primary caregiver for their son 99.9% of the time, with Tiffany's parents pretty much being the other active parent in the situation. And when she points that out in the video, RJ makes some disturbing remarks about Tiffany's mother, at one point coldly stating that he doesn't care whether her mother is alive or unalive, which is pretty heartless because it's being aimed at someone who actually stepped up when he was absent from his son's life. His behavior not only reflects a troubling lack of responsibility as a father, but also highlights the emotional abuse Tiffany has endured throughout their entire relationship. Hampton, once considered a rising star in the NBA, is now facing serious scrutiny. His disturbing behavior, both in how he treated Tiffany and in allegedly taking their child without notice, raises serious questions about his character. Also, his future with the NBA, which has long prided itself on addressing domestic abuse and player misconduct. So I'm interested to hear about the action that they're going to take and if they make a statement. This whole situation really shows why it's so important for women to be super, super selective about who we have a baby with. When you're tied to someone for life through a child, you want to make sure that person is responsible, emotionally stable, and actually ready to co-parent. Otherwise, things can go south quickly. Just like in this case, Halle Bailey, and very recently Cardi B, whose ex Offset thought that it was a flex that he was the ultimate winner because he had babies with her. So yes, lady, it is as diabolical as it seems. Tiffany's story is a perfect example of what happens when the father of your child isn't stepping up. RJ allegedly took their son without any of his stuff and left Tiffany stranded, not even knowing if Halo had eaten. If your co-parent isn't reliable, it's not just stressful for you, it can directly affect your child. Choosing someone who genuinely cares about your child's needs and safety is critical. And let's talk about the power struggle of it all. When one parent decides to ignore boundaries and makes things difficult, like RJ did by taking Halo without warning, it puts the other parent in a tough spot. And I feel like having kids is hard enough. So everyone was telling Tiffany that she needs to get a lawyer. I 100% agree, especially because she couldn't even go to the police for help in this situation, which is a reminder that custody and legal battles can get ugly fast. So at the minimum, having a child with someone who respects the law and custody agreements is a big deal because you don't want to spend your life going back and forth in a legal nightmare, which can also get very expensive. And while a lot of what I've talked about is more about like the physical well-being of Halo, let's talk about the mental well-being because that is critical in growing a fully formed, actualized human being. Kids learn from their parents, for better or worse. And in this case, RJ's abusive behavior and the way he talks to Tiffany is something Halo could grow up seeing as normal. And thank goodness Tiffany has her parents because the strain on women to be the primary caregiver is not talked about enough because it's just expected of women in our society. And remember, the number one indicator for the health of the child is the happiness of the mother within the home. So if you want the best outcomes for your children, the mother must be nurtured because it's kind of an umbrella that reaches over to the kids, which is why it's so important to choose a partner who is actually going to share the load and support you. And at minimum, not stressing you the hell out. So bottom line, who you have a baby with is one of the biggest decisions of your life. This situation is a clear example of how things can spiral if you're tied to someone who isn't mature, respectful, or responsible. Being selective isn't just about love or attraction. It's about making sure the person you're choosing to parent with is going to be there for you and your child for the long haul. Thank you all for listening. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. And click the little bell to get immediately notified when I do another update.
It's crazy to me because you're...
Fuck, I'm talking to you, bitch. Please. Man, I don't care if you have me on recording. I could care less. I just don't want to, what I'm afraid of, because of who you are, as me, like, taking him, and then you, like, fighting me off of him, and then you like, oh my God, you abused me.
No, I wouldn't do... First of all, you have laid hands on me before, so...
Get the fuck out of
you
here.
have.
That stupid shit.
I have pictures of it.
I know.
And text messages of it.
You have pictures of it right here?
Yeah, and you text me
Who the fuck is
talking
gonna care about that?
Who's gonna care?
Who's
gonna care?
Bro, there are bruises of... You know what? I don't even have to get into that.
But they came from your hands.
Of course they did.
Okay.
Did I punch you? Did I slap you?
Just because you didn't punch me
Did I
doesn't mean
slap
that's
you? Shut the fuck
okay. Wow.
Halo, come back.
Wow.
No.
At the end of the day, if you like the fact that you can sit here and allow... No, because your child has been traveling since 5 a.m. He's been traveling since 5 a.m. and you're sitting here making him wander around a hotel. I'm not playing victim. I'm saying...
my house.
No.
You went to Miami and you were
First of
and
all,
your parents kept it.
Yeah, my mom is more of a parent to him than you have ever been.
Dead or alive. Shut up.
Can you get the hotel? Because I have to be here for 45 days.
You just went to Miami and were a thought. You get the hotel.